that's the thing, Dan. I mean, not to get too political with you, but ultimately, when you stand up and you can't bring any new policy to the table, or you can't even admit that you messed up on the policies that you implemented, causing American people real financial strain over the course of the last 3.5 years, that's a hard campaign message. We were talking about it earlier as the debate is approaching, the CNN presidential debate next week. You know, President Biden's got to somehow figure out, that's his opportunity, how to say to people, I can fix this if he wants to win. And even if he says it now, do you think people will believe him?
Jackie, I don't think no matter what anyone says, whether it's the president or people like us, whatever our opinions are, people feel it in their pocketbook.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be able to convince anybody that rent is cheaper, home prices are cheaper, grocery prices are cheaper. It's just not going to happen no matter how you spin this. The other point here is that when you talk about, oh, inflation is coming down, that is year over year. You have to look at the accumulation of inflation. Over the past 3 years, it's been 20%. That's what people feel. So you can continue to have wage inflation. It's not going to solve the problem.
Yeah.
As Danielle said, you want to solve this problem, stop flooding the system with cash.
So, Dan, I want to get to you on this. These are plans that are tough for Americans to swallow. And by the way, they're skirting the rules to even try to push this through. So ultimately, we're in a position where some of the policies are hurting Americans more than they're helping.
That's very true, Jackie. And let me say this. Every time one of these plans is proposed, you always hear, well, it's going to be paid for. We're going to make cuts here.
Yeah.
We're going to do this. We're going to do that. So it's going to be debt neutral, deficit neutral. It never is. Every time we talk about these types of plans, what ends up happening? We continue to add to the national debt and those deficits year after year. So until the federal government, and I don't think it'll ever happen, comes to the conclusion that we cannot continue to spend without truly making cuts, it's never, ever going to work.